Hello, welcome, and thank you for watching. My name is Caitlin Mills, and I am an admissions representative here at Ozarks Technical Community College. And this video is designed just for parents, family members, and student supporters. So we're going to jump right into it. Today we're going to talk about accreditation and transferability, FERPA, campus safety, and resources just for you all. So accreditation and transferability, OTC is regionally accredited. We're going to talk about transferring to other colleges and universities and Missouri Core 42. OTC is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission, and this may not mean anything to you. You may not know what this means, but accreditation is very important because it determines how your students' credits will transfer. And we are accredited by the same accrediting body that accredits Missouri State and Drury and lots of other colleges in the state of Missouri. So accreditation, what it means for you is that your students' credits will transfer. And we're going to talk about how they transfer. How your students' classes transfer is up to their next college or university and is based on the degree they want to pursue there. Your student should contact their next school to discuss transfer as soon as possible. And we have some great resources for our students. We have a Missouri State transfer specialist named Donna Redman who sits on our campus full-time to assist our students with transferring to Missouri State. We also have a part-time Drury transfer specialist who sits on our campus a few days a week to assist students who might want to transfer to Drury. And I would encourage your students to reach out to the school they plan to transfer to as soon as possible so that they can get a list of courses that would be best for them to take here at OTC and how they will transfer smoothest into the degree program that they want and at the school they want to go to. Now we're going to talk about Missouri Core 42. So the Missouri Department of Higher Education has identified a common set of general education courses. These courses are called the Core 42. And Core 42 courses are guaranteed to transfer to any Missouri public college or university to satisfy general education requirements. So this is huge. This means that if your student takes a college algebra class with us here at OTC, that it will also transfer as college algebra to Missouri State, to Mizzou, to any other public college or university in the state. So that's really important because a lot of students struggle with college algebra or other general education classes. And so you want to know that those are going to transfer smoothly and not just transfer as like an elective or something like that. So that's why Missouri Core 42 is great. And to learn more about Core 42, we have a page on our website. Here is a direct link to it, or you can type in Core 42 in the search bar on our main website and it will pull up more information. Now we're going to talk about what FERPA is. We're going to talk about protecting your students' information and filling out a student information release. FERPA stands for Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It is a U.S. law that governs the privacy of student educational records, access to those records, and disclosure of information from them. What this means to you is that we are required to protect your students' information. So students have the following rights under FERPA. They have the right to inspect and review educational records, seek to amend education records, consent to the disclosure of personally identifiable information, except to the extent FERPA authorizes disclosure without consent. And students, parents, anyone can file a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education concerning alleged failures by the college to comply with the requirements of FERPA. So here at OTC, we take FERPA really seriously. And so as a parent, a family member, or a student supporter, if you reach out and ask specific information about your student's account, we are not able to give it to you because of FERPA. So just know that is the reasoning behind that. And you can learn more about FERPA on our website by just typing that into the search bar. Now we're going to talk about student information release. So students can release information to parents, guardians, spouses, and others with a student information release form. And this form is available on our website, or you can pick one up at Student Services. And what this means for you is that to access your student's account-specific information, a consent to release student information must be on file with the registrar's office. So without this form on file, we cannot release any account information to you. This is kind of the opposite of a student information release. This is a request to deny release of directory information. So we have this available for very specific circumstances. So I'm going to read through why you might need this and what the purpose of it is. A student may elect to deny the release of directory information by notifying the registrar in writing through this form. If a student has elected to deny the release of directory information, anyone inquiring about the student would be informed that OTC has no record of the student. So this means if it could be anyone, if a parent, family member, spouse, cousin, whoever comes in and asks if so-and-so is a current or past OTC student, we would give the response of, we have no record of the student. No information regarding the student will be provided to anyone inquiring about the student, including themselves, unless photo identification is shown, verifying that it is the student who is present making the request for information. So just know if your student has a unique situation or any type of scenario where they wouldn't want their information released, this form is available. Now I'm going to talk about OTC Cares. So OTC Cares is a set of resources that have been established to protect the health and safety of our community at OTC. Maintaining a safe environment allows students to focus on their education and get the most out of their time at the college. And you can visit this website, otc.edu/OTCcares, to learn more about this and what this involves. Now I'm going to talk about safety and security services. So we have a large staff of safety and security officers that do many different things for our campuses and centers. They patrol, they do life safety systems and safety drills. They operate our lost and found services. So if your student loses an item on our campus, they can visit our safety and security office to hopefully retrieve that item. And safety and security manages vehicle registrations, vehicle assists, escorts, first aid, CPR, AED, emergency messages. So if we ever have an incident that happens on our campus, like an intruder or a lockdown or something like that, safety and security sends out emergency messages. They also handle crime, accident, and injury investigations. They investigate all incidences on campus. And an important tip that they always tell students and staff members is lock your vehicles. Make sure you keep your vehicles locked while you're on campus and keep your personal items out of sight. Or better yet, just don't keep any personal items in your car. And hopefully that will help deter car break-ins on our campus. They do parking control and traffic enforcement. We do not require parking permits at OTC. So it is open parking, first come, first serve. We do strongly encourage students to register their vehicle, and they can do this through our safety and security office, just in case you leave your lights on or something a little bit more extreme, like if your car gets backed into or something like that while you're in class. safety and security can get in touch with you that way. Another thing about parking is make sure you tell your student to plan to arrive early, especially the first couple weeks of classes. Since parking is first come, first serve, it can be a little bit hectic, and we don't want to add any stress to your student. So make sure you let them know to plan to arrive early. And these are just the general rules of OTC. We are a smoke, tobacco, vapor-free campus. We do not allow alcohol, drugs, or weapons on the campus, and pepper spray is one of the things that is allowed. Now I'm going to talk about housing at OTC. So we are considered a commuter campus, and we do not offer student housing on or off campus. We do have some housing resources. You can visit this website here, or you could type in housing in the search bar on our main webpage. There you'll find an apartment guide, apartment finder, and renting college pads. So especially if you are moving your student to the area, or if you're new to the area, this can give you some recommendations and some tips for how to find housing near our campus. And here's just some general tips for supporting your students' transition to college. Encourage students to make their own decisions, learn from their failures, and enjoy their successes. Encourage your student to get involved with campus activities. We have a lot of different clubs and organizations across the campus, so encourage your student to explore those options, and also encourage your student just to spend as much time on campus as possible. That's the best way to get to know people, to get to know other students and staff members, and get familiar with the resources that we offer. And don't pressure your student into declaring a major or choosing a career immediately. That's one of the great things about starting your college education at OTC is we have a lot of different options. We have an Associate of Arts degree, a General Studies degree that is specific for those students who don't quite know what they want to major in yet. And that degree consists of mostly Core 42 courses. So that is a great plan for students that don't know what they want to study. They can go into that degree program and kind of take those Core 42 classes that are benefiting them while they're kind of figuring out what they want to major in. And encourage your student to meet with an academic advisor regularly for help in selecting courses. So each student is assigned an academic advisor specific to their program of study. And I would encourage your student to meet with their advisor each semester before they register for classes. This will just help keep them on track for their degree program, make sure they're taking the right courses, and just eliminate any extra time spent or frustration. Support your student by understanding the stress that the student feels and adjusting to the new college environment. Ask about your students' classes and experiences, and understand that college is much more challenging than high school. More study time is involved. The student will spend more time probably utilizing resources than they might have in high school. So that is something, just understanding that transition for your student. When the students experience problems, urge them to seek help immediately from the appropriate college resource. Students need to ask questions before they become frustrated and upset. So we do have a lot of great resources. We have free tutoring resources. So I would encourage your student, as soon as they start struggling in a class, to seek the help of a tutor immediately. Don't wait until it's like final exam time or the grade is too low to be recovered. So seek resources immediately. We also have some amazing financial aid advisors. So if your student is struggling in a class pretty early on in the semester especially, encourage them to reach out to financial aid to discuss what their options are just before it's too late. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you gained a lot of beneficial information from this video. If you have any questions or need any additional resources, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And I thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.